Hey viewers, and welcome to another Turbo review. Today I'll be looking at Transformers Dark of the Moon, Shockwave. Transformers Dark of the Moon is the third movie in the Transformers film franchise. Like the first two movies, this one has a line of toys to support it at retail. Or is the movie a 2+ hour commercial for the toy line? Or maybe it's a little bit of both. Anyway, today I'll be taking a look at one of the primary villains from the film, Shockwave. Shockwave's alt mode is some sort of Cybertronian tank. It's definitely alien looking and has an interesting aesthetic. The design incorporates tank treads along with rolling wheels, and to be honest, it works, though I'm not sure why. He's mostly purple, gray, and silver in this mode, and holds together well. You can see the robot hands if you look close enough, but that's really the only thing telling you this thing changes into a robot. The turret is pretty much stationary, which is a minor drawback. Alt mode gets an 8. Transformation time. Start. Change. Rubber hose. Change. Finish. Shockwave's transformation is largely intuitive, but still takes some getting used to. Switching back and forth from robot to alt mode and back again a few times for practice really helps, as there are some things like the shoulders that kind of need to be exactly right for a successful conversion. Shockwave's transformation gets a score of 7.5. In robot mode, Shockwave is, well, small. As a Voyager class figure, he is barely larger than some deluxe class, but that aside, he is one imposing figure. The head sculpt is a definite nod to G1 Shockwave while incorporating the movie design aesthetic, and his glaring red eye is completely menacing. There are no new colors here, but that's okay, as the purple and gray, along with the subtle paint apps, work very well on this figure. He sports a rubber hose that connects his gun to his backpack, and as a fan of G1, I'm glad this was included. His two accessories are a sword attachment for one arm and the laser cannon itself, which fits on his other arm. Both can be removed, but they add so much to the look, especially the cannon. Robot mode gets an 8.5. Shockwave has, overall, a great range of motion. He has mostly ratcheting and swivel joints, and they allow for many different poses. The only drawback is that his right arm is hindered a bit with the gun and hose attached. I'm giving his articulation a score of 8.5. The one gimmick that Shockwave has is his mech tech weapon. Most of the Dark of the Moon figures have these things, and I've been largely unimpressed with them so far. But Shockwave's is a bit different, as the gimmick is worked into the weapon he's already sporting in the film. A big complaint I have of the mech tech gimmick is that, for most of the figures that I own, the weapon snaps back to its original form when you let go of the trigger. But the trigger on Shockwave's weapon tabs into place, keeping the extra bits deployed. This is one mech tech gimmick that's well done, and it gets a score of 7.5. Shockwave's overall score is an 8. Though rather tiny for a Voyager class, he makes up for that with a good alt mode and a great robot mode. Gimmick and articulation add to an already excellent toy. Where some other characters in the movie universe bear little resemblance to their G1 namesakes, Shockwave's nods to his predecessor abound. Considering how well those homages translate into such a great figure, I'm glad they went the way they did with his design. Highly recommended. This figure is nothing if not fan service for those who loved the Shockwave character back in the 80s. What we have here is a figure that feels like a movie franchise character, while still being familiar to those of us who remember what came before. Of the limited number of Dark of the Moon figures I have so far, this one stands out as the best. If you loved Shockwave way back when, or are a fan of him now, then this toy will not disappoint. Thanks for tuning in, good night, and have a pleasant tomorrow.